Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening wherever you may be in the world. Today we're diving into our Bible reading, Matthew 25. Let's go. Don't worry, it's not as boring as it sounds. We're talking about the parable of the talents. Think of it as a crash course in personal finance with a side of divine intervention. It's about making the most of what you've got. No pressure, right? So, buckle up, grab your metaphorical popcorn, and let's get biblical. First up, we've got the master. Picture a high-powered CEO, but instead of a corner office, he's got, well, heaven. This guy's loaded. We're talking more money than you can shake a stick at. He's also a bit of a hands-off manager. Delegates, trusts, the whole shebang. But don't let that fool you, he's keeping tabs. Oh yes, he's watching. Next we've got our contestants, servants, 3 of them, each one quirkier than the last. First, there's Gary, ambitious, driven, always chasing the next big thing. Then there's Mary, practical, cautious, a firm believer in slow and steady. And finally we've got Larry, risk-averse, allergic to hard work, a professional couch potato. Together, they represent the diverse portfolio of human nature. So the master's going on a trip. Business trip, spiritual retreat, who knows? Before he leaves, he calls his 3 trusty servants. Time for some performance-based bonuses. He gives Gary a wad of cash, a big one. Invest this wisely, he says. Mary gets a slightly smaller wad. Don't let me down, he winks. Larry, well, he gets a participation trophy, a tiny little bag of coins. Try not to lose it, the master sighs. Section 5, doubling down, Gary goes all in. Gary, being Gary, sees dollar signs. He's got plans, big plans. This is his chance to shine. He invests in startups, plays the stock market, even tries his hand at cryptocurrency. Some ventures flop, but others take off like a rocket. This guy's a natural. By the time the master returns, Gary's doubled his money. High fives all around. Section 6, playing it safe, Mary's mattress empire. Mary, ever the pragmatist, takes a more measured approach. She's not into risky business. She invests in real estate, rental properties, the safe bet. She renovates, she leases, she collects rent like a boss. It's not flashy, but it's steady income. By the time the master returns, she's doubled her money too. Slow and steady wins the race. Section 7, Bearing the Treasure, Larry's Guide to Avoiding Risk. Larry's a different story. He sees the money and panics. What if he loses it? He can't invest it, it's too risky. He can't spend it, that's irresponsible. So, he does what any logical person would do. He buries it. In his backyard. Under a rock. Safe and sound, he mumbles to himself, completely oblivious to the concept of inflation. Section 8, The Reckoning performance reviews can be murder. The master returns. Time for those performance reviews. Gary's up first. Well done, Gary. The master beams. You've used your talents wisely. Mary's turn. Excellent work, Mary. You've shown prudence and responsibility. Larry's sweating bullets. He digs up his little bag of coins, covered in dirt and worms. I kept it safe, he stammers. The master is not impressed. Section 9, the moral of the story. Don't be a Larry. So, what's the takeaway from this wacky parable? It's simple, really. We all have talents. Some big, some small. But it's not about how much you have, it's about what you do with it. Take a chance, invest in yourself, don't be afraid to fail. And whatever you do, don't bury your talents in the backyard. That's all the time we've got, folks. Tune in next time for more hilarious life lessons from the good book.